87% of the world population suffer from violence every year. Available statistics shows that men are more culpable in abusing their wives to the point of death. But in the past several years, the tables have turned, making it a 50-50 chance that a wife is very much heartless enough to take the life of her husband. In Nigeria, about 20% of men die in the hands of their wives. My name is Rukaya Lamin, and these are some of the top 10 women that killed their spouses in anger, rage, or claims of infidelity, or even hatred. Wasila Tasi from Kano State, Nigeria. In December 2014, the 14-year-old child bride murdered her 35-year-old husband simply because she does not love him and wanted out of the marriage. She was forced into the marriage by her father with a man she had no interest in. She protested against the marriage before it happened, but all fell on deaf ears. She later murdered her husband just 2 weeks after the marriage in her desperate attempt for freedom. Wasilat is said to be one of the youngest female murderers in the history of Nigeria. She pleaded guilty and was sentenced to death. But a group of activists led a protest and appeal on behalf of the convicted felon alongside her father. Akorede Balogun from Lagos State. Mr. Asaki and his mistress Muibat Alabi were found dead in his house at Victory Estate, Lagos. A witness recalled that Mr. Asaki and his girlfriend were poisoned by his wife on July 2019. The suspect and also a witness in the case was a deceased tenant. He claimed Mrs. Balogun called him to help her with something, but on arrival, he became an accomplice to the murder and was bribed with the deceased's car. He stated that he couldn't report to the authorities because he was too scared of Mrs. Balogun and another of her accomplices. He said they tied up the victims and forced a liquid poison in their mouth, causing their immediate death. The trios were arrested and are currently awaiting trial. Ms. Akorede continues to deny any involvement in the death of her husband and claims the witness is the same person that committed the murders. Even though I could not understand the motive behind it, it is only clear and reasonable to say that Rasaki's wife had every motive to end her cheating husband's life. But what do I know? Eki Akato from Edo State, Nigeria. The middle-aged woman was arrested by the police in November 2019 for allegedly killing her husband by holding on tightly to his testicles in a violent manner until he gave up the ghost. Looks like November always comes with bad luck. It was later revealed that Eki has had numerous misunderstandings with her husband for coming home late every night, accusing him of having an affair, but this time, her husband retaliated by slapping Eki on the face, and she angrily grabbed his trousers as he shouts for help until his dying breath. He was later rushed to the hospital, but was confirmed dead on arrival. Odogo from Kebbi State, Nigeria. The barbaric newly bride had every intention of getting married, but had none in staying in it. It was her second marriage, but she only agreed to it just so she could kill the new husband and remarry the old one. According to the police, the suspect Odogo conspired with two other males named Garba Hassan and Sahabi Garba to kill her husband Abdullahi in February 2019 just so she could remarry her former husband Idris Garba. It is not permissible in Islam to remarry an ex-husband after 3 consecutive divorces. Unless, of course, you marry again, and maybe after a divorce or death of the present husband, would you be allowed to remarry your former husband? But since sudden death was wasting her time, she decided to do the tricks herself. But while her husband sleeps peacefully in his grave, she will be locked up for the rest of her life. She was apprehended alongside the men she hired for the job. Emma Otike Odibi from Lagos State, Nigeria. Even though she was a lawyer and knew killing another human was a major crime, she took her chances anyways by killing her husband, who was also a lawyer, in cold blood and mutilated him by cutting off his manhood in February 2019. The incident happened in the couple home at Lekki, Lagos State, after her husband was getting ready to travel to the UK from Lagos. She later confessed that she had suspected her husband was having extramarital affairs and does not deserve to have any more fun, I believe. She was charged with murder and misconduct with regards to the court. Mariam Sanda from the FCT. The mother of two was accused of stabbing her husband to death while he was praying at their residence in Abuja. She later pled not guilty on all charges, claiming she loved her husband and will never want him dead. Friends and family later revealed that the feud was over infidelity and accusations of extramarital affairs, and Mariam Sanda could not bear to see her husband in the arms of another woman, except of course, as a corpse. Bilyamini, the son of the former PDP chairman, got married to Mariam after divorcing his first wife because of the love he had for Mariam. However, that sacrifice was the biggest mistake of his life and in the end, cost him everything. He was pronounced dead shortly after he was taken to the hospital in 2017. Mariam Sanda was found guilty 3 years later based on the circumstantial evidence presented and was sentenced to death by hanging. Even though she was remorseful and regretted one of the major sins almost unforgivable, her family continues to file for appeal on behalf of their daughter. Rabi Shamsuddin from Katsina State. A few days after the sentencing of Mariam Sanda, a 19-year-old Rabi Shamsuddin stabbed her husband to death in Malimfashi local government of Katsina State after a heated argument. Well, some people claimed it was over a charger, and I was livid, especially because chargers could cost as low as 200 naira. But let's just hope it's a false alarm. Otherwise, how can one possibly stab their beloved because of a mere charger? The husband was rushed to the hospital by the police and later confirmed DOA. Rabi was arrested and charged for the murder of her husband and is currently awaiting trial. Tina from Owerri State, Nigeria. To a normal person, acid is the most dangerous liquid in the world of science and should never be tampered with. But for Augustina, it's a weapon waiting to be launched on another human. With the claims of infidelity and other misunderstandings, Augustina took it upon herself to end her husband's life in the most gruesome and brutal way unimaginable to man on October 2017. The husband was asked, who was a stonesman, was followed to his workplace by his wife and attacked with acid and set ablaze. He was later rushed to FMC Hospital in Owerri and was pronounced dead on arrival. This can only be described as a sociopathic and non-sadistic act of violence. And Youngbong Isongo from Benin State, Nigeria. While pastors are supposed to bless couples in matrimony, another pastor is wrecking and setting another home ablaze. Enyon conspired with her pastor to kill her husband for money. She asked her pastor to stand at her husband's usual route and ask for leave. The kind gesture works and the man offered the pastor a ride, only to be knocked unconscious and set ablaze in his own car by his wife's pastor. It was later confirmed that the deceased's property and money was to be transferred to the devil for his unholy participation in the murder of an innocent man that made the worst decision of his life. They were both found guilty by a judge for burning a man beyond recognition and were both sentenced to death by hanging. Rachel Adetsa from Benue State, Nigeria. In the early week of November 2018, Rachel killed her husband and even her own 3 children and finally herself. She was seen by the neighbors with a pistol trying to wreck her husband's car after a series of misunderstandings. She finally decided it was time they all start afresh in heaven, which I guess she would never make. She was found dead with the same knife she used in slaughtering her husband and 3 kids and lastly herself. In the struggle to understand a situation like this one, most killer wives will kill the husbands or themselves. But killing innocent children is just beyond human comprehension. Not 1, 2, but 3. There better be a special and well-reformed hell for this woman. because there is no way she's making heaven after this. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like my videos, and feel free to drop your comments. My name is Rukaya Alamin, and see you next week on the Top Crime Show.